Hello everyone, I'm Jo Brinklow and I'm Director of Learning at the College, and I'm going to very briefly talk you through today all of the work that has been done to update the RCPath curricula over the last few years. So as you know, we are regulated by the General Medical Council, and a few years ago they updated their standards for curriculum assessment, and that really kick-started a huge amount of work within the college. One of the key aspects of this work was integrating the generic professional capabilities framework into the curricula, and there are a number of other things that we had to do to bring the curricula up to the new GMC standards. So how did we get from all of these standards here and everything that we needed to implement to these curricula, which you can now find on the college website? So the new GMC standards were really clear about moving away from lots of competencies and actually then translating what was required into high-level outcomes. We borrowed the Royal College of Physicians term capabilities in practice to describe those high-level outcomes, and in each of the curricula there are about a dozen or so split between generic and specialty-specific SIPs. Sitting under those SIPs are the descriptors, and they give more details or more examples about how trainees can evidence that they're working towards or have met their SIPs. And of course, we also map everything to the GPCs that I've spoken to you about, and they are embedded across all of the curricula. There are also examples of the types of evidence that trainees should be collecting to demonstrate their progress through the curriculum. One of the other big changes is that we now have a syllabus that underpins most of the curriculum, and that really details out the content and the scope of curriculum, while the curriculum itself just details the high-level outcomes for SIPs I've told you about. In previous years, lots of curriculum have had lots and lots of numbers for things that are required. And while you will still see some of those numbers included in the curriculum, many of those numbers now are indicative rather than absolute. And we've had a change to the focus of our workplace-based assessments, which up until now have been known as tick box, and there's a real move away from the summative to the formative, with feedback being the main point of trainees undertaking the supervised learning events. And we've also published an assessment strategy that crosses the pathology specialties, that shows you how all of the different forms of assessment relate to one another and to the curriculum itself. When we introduced the curricula, they were quite late in being approved, mainly due to COVID, and we already, by the spring of 2021, when they were approved, had 2 years of ARCP derogations behind us. So we were very conscious of the situation in which we were publishing these curriculum. And therefore, in August 2021, only the very new ST1 or ST3 trainees entering specialty training embarked on those curricula. There was a transitional curriculum for chemical pathology because they made some quite big changes to their entry requirements. And then from this spring, we have started the work of transitioning all remaining trainees over to the new curriculum, apart from those that are in their final year. And so what's coming up? Well, as the curriculum have now been in place for over a year, next year we will be working closely with the GMC and piloting some of their new QA processes. We will also be returning to more standard ARCP decision aids and phasing out the old curricula during the autumn of 2023.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Dewar and I'm the Assessment Manager at the College. Today I'll be talking about the learning environment for pathology trainees, also known as the LEPT system. Currently there are 2 LEPT systems, simply known as the old LEPT system and the new LEPT system. Both of them are accessible on the College main website. The LEPT system is an e-portfolio used by trainees to record their progress in training For example, trainees are able to create their workplace-based assessments in the LEPT system, and assessors are able to electronically approve them. The ESSR can be created in the LEPT system, and it also supports the ARCP process. Trainees in the following specialties use the LEPT system. Some trainees have already departed from the old LEPT system, and their e-portfolio items have been placed in the new LEPT system, but these are for viewing purposes. Only trainees in their final year of training will continue to use the old LEPT system, as it will be phased out by December 2023. There is an opportunity for everyone who have ever used the old LEPT system to download their training items and save to their own devices. The development of the new LEPT system started in March 2020. It works very similar to the old one, but there are some significant improvements that are more customer friendly. It is mapped to the Curricula 2021, and the first cohort of trainees to use it were those who started training in August 2021 as ICPT trainees. The SLEs are intact. These assessments are strictly formative, designed for assessors to give trainees feedback on their progress. Trainees are able to associate their approved assessments to the SIPs and the GPC framework, as these are embedded in the e-portfolio. One significant improvement is that Deanery and LEPT admin staff will be able to create the ARCP outcome form directly in the LEPT system. I am aiming for this functionality to be ready for ARCP's 2023. The MSF process works much better now, as it is more transparent. Users can report any LEPT difficulties that they are experiencing by completing the built-in form. And trainees can load a photo of themselves. Anyone with access to the trainee's e-portfolio will be able to view the photo. Me and my colleague Michael Gillett in the assessment department have recorded several LEPT instructional videos. There is a set of videos for trainees and a set for non-trainees. The link to the YouTube playlist is in the LEPT system. Do have a look under the alert section on the homepage, and also in the document under the help tab on the navigation menu. Additional videos will be made available as and when. Thank you.